a restaurant? Do you have a menu? Do you have a website? Like I said, you should have a website. Do you have brochures? Do you have advertisements? If you develop the copy for those advertisements or brochures, or if you have somebody do it for you, get that agreement so that you own the copyright in your advertisements. And then trade secrets. Again, customer list, vendors, pricing, know-how, anything that makes you competitive. Keep track of all that. Identify it so you can keep track of it. And then protect your IP. Trademarks, like I said, put the TM or SM on there. It's absolutely free. Or register it. You can register it federally. Like I said, starting for a $275 U.S. government filing fee. Copyrights. You can put that copyright notice on there for free. You don't have to register it. There are certain advantages to registering it. If it's important to you, I recommend that you do register it. Trade secrets, just keep it secret. It's going to be pretty cheap. Keep track of your IP. Keep copies of advertisements, brochures, old websites. Conduct customer surveys so they recognize your brand. If they don't recognize your brand, maybe you're not using it consistently. Do they like your website? If they do, make sure that you protect that with copyright. If they don't, maybe you want to change it and then invest in a new copyright. Do they appreciate something you do better than anyone else? If they do, that might be a trade secret. Identify your IP.
So if you purchase the original piece of artwork, are you entitled to mass produce it and sell it? No, it's still the artist.
They're selling you a copy. If you copied it and sold it, you'd be violating their copyright. You can resell your copy, just like if you buy a book, you can try and sell it on Amazon.
But you have the original, you bought the original.
You can sell that one because you're not actually making a copy of it. But if you sat there and photocopied that book and tried to even give it away for no profit, you're still violating the copyright.
If you do photography and then decide you want to mass produce some pictures or something like that, and show me videos.
So if you
Say if I'm on vacation, I take this picture of the scenery and I love it, and I think people would buy this, so let me make some.
yeah, so that's your own picture, so you have your own copyright in it. You can do whatever you want with it.
But I mean, should I put that like TM or SM or something like that on it?
Well, put the copyright notice.
Who's on it?
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of the time when photographers offer their artwork or their photographs for sale on the internet, they'll do a watermark copyright across it, so if you go to print it out, it'll have the copyright on there. If you want to actually buy it from them, then they'll take that off and you get a clean print of it. So why do you want to do all that? What's an IP portfolio worth? Trademarks, they're part of your brand recognition. It's going to help increase customer loyalty. When you see a certain product and you like it, you recognize the brand that goes with it. You'll go into a store and you'll walk past all the other brands that you find the brand that you want. Think about walking down the soda aisle in the grocery store. You walk past all the generics and you walk past the Pepsi and you go to the Coke or you go to the Pepsi, whichever your favorite is. You don't sit there and sample them all. You're looking for the name Pepsi or Coke on there. It also helps drive referrals. It makes referrals easier because friends will say, oh, I really love Pepsi, you just have to buy Pepsi, don't buy that Coke stuff, buy Pepsi. It makes it easy for people to pass on referrals to you because they'll just say, look for this mark and that's the one you want. Copyrights, they're also going to be part of your brand recognition. What does your menu look like? What does your website look like? People start recognizing that that's you, that's your product, your services. Helps distinguish your offerings from competitors. Again, you can identify the Coke and the Pepsi products in the aisle of soda. Trade secrets, they help keep your business competitive, and so you want to make sure that you keep those protected too. When does an IP portfolio matter? Obviously, protecting your competitive edge like we just talked about, but have you also considered in the future, you may want to bring on a business partner and they're going to say, well, why should I go into business with you and not just set up my business right next door to you? Or I can go do that. Why should I invest in your company? You say, well, I've already established brand loyalty. I have a trademark and I have a trademark registration. I already have copyright and I also have trade secrets. You may even have some patents. Those are assets. Those are business assets when they're looking at investing, they're gonna say, what do you have to offer? Well, this is what you have, and nobody else has that because it's your intellectual property. Same thing when you need a loan, investors capital, they're gonna say, what business assets do you have? And you can actually itemize your IP and say, I have trade secrets, I have trademarks, I have copyright registrations, I have patents, that's all part of the business. They're all owned by the business. The business isn't just this lease that I have on this store space for the month. And when you go to sell your business, that's when it really becomes important, because if they say, well, gee, you're trying to sell your business, you want to get out of the market, I'll just wait till you close your shop and I'll open up my own shop. Well, no, because you've already made the investment, you have that brand recognition, people are coming and looking for your product, even if they set up the exact same store or restaurant there after you close. They may or they may not go there, but if it's the exact same store, if it's still the same look and feel, same copyright, same pricing because they know your trade secrets, same brand, people aren't even going to question if it changed owners, they're going to continue to go there. And so that adds value to anybody looking to buy your business. So like I said, it adds value to your business. Business valuations are based on things like projected sales, your physical assets, if you actually own the store, if you're leasing it, if you actually have product inventory, if you have accounts receivable, you've sold things but you haven't collected on it yet and you expect to collect a certain percentage of that. And they also look at intellectual property. They want to know, why are you different, why are you competitive, and like I said, why someone can't just open up right next door to you. IP is what does that, adds value to your business. You're not just a store selling widgets, you're store XYZ with a brand and brand recognition and a brand following. So how valuable is IP? I just put up a few examples from the Forbes list of most valuable trademarks. Mm-hmm. You can see those are in the billions of dollars. And that's the trademark value only, that's not their physical assets, that's just the value of their brand and their brand following. Okay. The most valuable, Google is worth estimated to be worth about $44.3 billion. So,
they do that?
Well, because everybody knows Google, right?
It's a bird, yeah.
That's just for their brand, that doesn't include all their search algorithm. That's the brand Google because it is so well known. Everybody in here knows when I'm talking about Google. So I tried to give you some ideas of what IP exists, how to identify it, how to protect it, and then these are the reasons. Your brand may not be worth $44.3 billion, but if you follow these guidelines, it should be worth something.
How do you determine how much your intellectual property is worth?
You'd hire somebody that specializes in that, probably a CPA or an accountant.
And
they'll base it on.
I'm trying to think, if you are an inventor and you have an invention,
Yeah.
and you wanted to take your intellectual property and sell it,
Right.
or you want to, either that or you want to license the use of it with somebody like Google.
What are they going to pay for it? Whatever their accountants look at it and think it's
they
worth.
make off of it, yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to depend, different fact situations. One invention may be worth a lot, another invention may be completely worthless.
Yeah.
And inventions, just to note, we're talking, are subject to patent protection.
Thank you.
Sure. I think that's all I had. So are there any questions?
Do you know anything about the limits for educational use and reproduction, if your business is involved with education?
Oh, fair use.
Yeah, how often or how much of something you can copy for that educational use within a business setting?
Yeah, take a look at the Library of Congress on that, because I don't want to say, well, if you do 50 copies, you're okay, but 51 copies and you're not. Look at that and they'll give you some general guidelines too. But again, it's going to be fact specific and it's going to depend on a variety of different factors. If you're really concerned whether you fall within fair use or if you'd be infringing on somebody's copyright, it's best to talk about specifics of that with an attorney.
Do you know if their use varies with your legal structure? So if your corporate structure, or if you're a corporate entity or an LLC versus if you're a nonprofit?
I'm not